All right, family, Prime Porch. We are back again, and as you see, we are live, not from the porch. So we're bringing the porch in New Orleans at the Loft Hotel, and thankfully, we are found a spot that allow us to showcase where we're at and to give you guys a kind of expand. We're here. So, sis, do you want to expand on what we mean by we're here?
We here, but it was a lot of sacrifices. We've been podcast how should I say it? We
Broadcasting.
we've been like talking about our coming up experience during the Tom Joyner, how excited we are, how this and but how sometimes you plan something and there be a lot of little hiccups along the way, a lot of roadblocks. And this time it's been like a roadblock to where it's like a big brick in the front that we still got to deal with. So we had to make a lot of sacrifices to even to get to this trip to enjoy. But we definitely gonna make the best of it because that's we feeling like that's the benefits that we can give ourselves through all the sacrifices we having to make, especially after this Tom Joyner morning trip. So, since you want to talk about some of the sacrifices a little bit,
I will because it was a point to where I almost didn't come. I mean, this was a year that we've been planning this, and initially it's really to celebrate your 50th birthday. But in the end, we kind of like mixed it up. Thankfully, she was supportive of us mixing the business into it, so it made it more of a business trip for us because we really wanted to definitely share our experiences with our podcast and our sisterhood. But in order for me to say I can go, I had to choose me. And I know one of our shirts says that, and I actually wore it yesterday. I had to actually choose me over my own child, which is something I never do.
Yes.
But, she's going through some things, and she wanted space. And as a helicopter mom, that's hard. That's hard, especially, how hard she hit. And then that was basically like, that's why I say, life can be so great because, honestly, I had no complaints. I mean, it wasn't the perfect, but nothing's perfect. But I had a life up into this. But you said hurdles, girl. Mine was like a whole roadblock.
Yes.
I mean, like not just a brick or wall. Like I just hit it hard, like bam, like. And I'm not an emotional person at all. So it took a lot of sacrificing and like soul searching to say, should I even come on this trip? Because we did sacrifice. We sacrificed doing other things. We sacrificed, putting the money aside, which now we can invest now because we save for this trip. But my whole sacrifice was putting my mom hat off or taking it off and allowing my daughter to
be the young adult she is.
Yes.
Because now technically she's a young adult. She's 22. The way she's rebelling to get her independence, to get her more her freedom is, it's I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy for your child to take this route. However, she's choosing to take to go this way and to be the young lady she is right now in her rebellious stage,
Right.
And it's and my sister's dealing with a lot of mental health, dealings,
right with her, right, and it's hard. And I'm not an emotional person,
and, right, and that's her first time being that my son, suffered from mental health himself. So I have been dealing with it a lot longer than my sister have. So, and he's finally getting stable within his, and with this schizophrenia and depression that he goes through. So he's finally balancing out. But now it's hit my sister, and it's no label yet with her daughter.
Right.
But I can see the same signs as my son had been going through. So it still does here and there. So
right.
That's why I've been, been very patient and been tolerable as she, try to, every day she's making a decision to choose her. It is hard because the first day, oh boy, I thought
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy, I don't know if my sister should have came or not.
Right. She counted me out
But
like
she has
several
never,
times.
right. She has never been so disorientated. And she was
Discombobulated.
Yeah, never been
Right.
discombobulated. And she's always been the one planning. Let's do this. Let's go here. Just too much planning. And I'd be like having to be the one to be like, hold up now.
Slow it down.
Slow it down, because I'm getting
Exactly.
old. I can't jump and go like that. But this go round, it's been, she's been a very slow pace, having to think, because she's having to navigate
Right.
her daughter situation, where her daughter at, where the whereabouts of her daughter, where is she gonna be home? And I'm sorry, man, it's
okay.
emotional for her right now. So, but day by day, hour by hour, she's still managing to hold on, because her daughter, she's doing other things, but she's not, doing enough to where she's putting herself in harm or anyone else in harm. So,
and we're trying to give her that space to navigate. And that's the hardest thing as a parent, when you had control and you know the right things for them to do. As a parent, it's harder for us to say stop and let's figure some things out and let it for them. But you have to let your kids grow, and you have to allow them. And it's not going to be the way you want it to be, but you have to allow them to be them. And the hardest thing to do is to see them fall flat on their face and not pick them up right away, but waiting for them to ask you for help. That's the hardest thing for me, because like I've been a helicopter mom. I've been there 110% of the time, and giving my all, and then you have to take your personal feelings out of it. Yes. And it's like, although they are rebellion, it's not against you. It's more so in a battle with them. And I say this to say, I still have not in the process of taking it personally. I'm in the process of it now. Don't get it twisted. I might be saying it, but I mean, I practice it fully. I'm going to get there. So that's why I'm still emotional. And I think this is probably the most I've shared tears probably since I was in kindergarten. Yes. So, I mean, this is a lifetime of tears, but I'll get through it. Yeah, because she's a tough cookie. And she's always like, oh, we'll figure it out. And that's her motto for everything. And she keep it going throughout all her dramatic time she's had, all the years she's been an adult. Basically, she's always been the shoulder. She's always held everything together. So this is the first time in many years I see my sister falling apart. But it's understandable, because that's your child. Right. That's your child that you've been there every step of the way. And for you not to be there every step of the way now, because she doesn't want her to. So she's doing things that is out of character. Right. For my niece, and to show that she doesn't want my sister there, instead of just doing it the right way. I think my sister just want her to just do it the right way. You want your independence, you want to be grown. We hear you. We're listening. Right. But we just want you to do it the right way. And we're not looking for you to be perfect. And this is the public announcement from my own child, so she's not listening to me. I don't want you to be perfect. I'm not trying to make you me. You might think my life is great and it's beautiful, but it's because I get back up and I see the positive and everything. There's so many pit holes. I fall, but I get back up and get in. And guess what? I'm going to walk with that twisted anger for a minute, and it'll get better. That's right. But I'm not looking for perfection. I never want perfection. I'm not perfect. I just make the best out of everything. And we even got this, and it was this lemonade we're here in New Orleans, and this is perfect here. And I'm going to give them a shout out to them, because it says, life gave lemons. And that's how what it is. It makes some lemonade. Make the positive out of it. You're going to have something sour, but you can make it into it. So kids, when you're going through emotional battles, just understand, most of us parents, we're not looking for perfection. No, we're not. We're okay with all your faults. We got them. We just try not to show you. And sometimes we show to you too much to where when so many things go so wrong, you can't handle it. And for that, Jamal, child, I apologize. Maybe I should have let you struggle a little bit more and not try to do everything, because I think in our defense, we didn't want our kids to suffer how we suffer. Exactly. So we took all those struggles away. And sometimes we just did our kids a disservice. Yes, we did. We honestly did, because
we held their hands for too long. We made a lot of decisions that we should allow them to make.
Right.
And then they would know how to deal with coping with it, making decisions and coping with the decisions, whether it's negative at the end of the
Right.
road, and knowing how to deal with that
Right.
without feeling like it's the end of the world.
Exactly.
You know, without taking it so emotional, getting so emotionally involved in it.
Right.
And we should have taught them how to navigate through
Yes,
different things a
right.
lot more.
By allowing them to navigate. We got to allow our kids to fall more.
Yes.
And I'm learning this the hard way. We have got to stop making it so easy that they see 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 failures as their life is over.
Yes.
Dude, you're in your early 20s. Life is not over.
Yes.
And if you're blessed enough, you gonna make it to 100. And guess what? You're gonna make so many more mistakes. I'm still making mistakes. Hell, I'm making them with you.
Exactly.
So yeah.
And I gotta say, I gotta give a PSI too. I do apologize because this episode I'm stumbling a little bit all over my words and stuff because this is a harder one for me. You know, it's hard for me to digest. It's hard for me to talk about.
Right.
So choosing the right words to say and get my words out this go round is really challenging for me because it's very hard for me to even speak on things such as this matter and to really verbally put my be so vulnerable,
right?
To put our
feelings
out there in our private life of what we're dealing with at this current time.
Because it's not always
with
perfect.
Both of our kids.
Right. So. And I'm gonna say this: I'm not apologizing for my tears. I'm just gonna let them out. And if I stutter, tears come out. Just that this is who I am right now. And then I think all about our community sometimes is taking that mask off and showing it. Like, look at my hair. I didn't even do it yet. Your next podcast too, you'll see it better. But right now, this is emotional, and I'm giving you my raw, true self. Is because life is not always easy. It's not always hard, but you make the best of what you have. And there's always something positive out of every situation. And I don't know what a positive yet with my daughter is, but I know once I get over the hurdle, the tunnel will open back up and I'll see it again. But nose to nose, I'm going to get up every day. Now I have to choose me and not put so much focus on my own child because I got to give her that space to grow and hopefully she'll turn and, do right by her and navigate that way. But I got to give her the space to do it.
Yes, and we're going to talk about the benefits now of us choosing us. Because for the first time in a very long time, we was here in New Orleans. We went shopping. My sister never chooses her to spend on herself and really indulge her. She always say, "Oh, next time because I have to do this for my daughter next time because me I gotta have the money because always an excuse." But this time she was like, "Forget about it. I'm finna buy it. I'm finna finally get it for myself, and I need this dimension and I need that dimension." I was like, "Oh my, this is a definite new sis right now that I'm seeing in front of me." I was amazed how she was really, really just like forget about it. It's I done worked hard this year. I done and I still have to work hard. I still have to endure so much. I'm finna spend some of my own money on my own self for once.
Yeah, exactly. And it felt good for a change. It felt really good that I did finally take time for me. And this is one thing I don't do because, I always wanted my daughter to have way more than what I had. And I did too much. And I'm honestly say for that because it hurts when you see them not appreciating it the way that you want them to and to enjoy because you just try to make it a little bit easier. But sometimes we make it too easy.
Yes. We have definitely made it too easy. So and because it's still, right now I'm tightening up a little bit on my son, but again, I got to turn around and help him a little bit next month. But that's only gonna be that one month. I'm not gonna continue on because I'm gonna do him a disservice, and I've learned that.
Right.
So you got in the bind. It's okay to help every now and then, but I'm not gonna let the help me on to where it's causing, a deficit in my bank account.
Right.
Because he's grown enough to where he's gonna have to figure out how to get himself out in situation that he got himself currently in.
Exactly. And that's what we have to do, is just to give them space.
Mhm.
And with that, we know this one was emotional one, but it's supposed to be mainly sort to, and we're gonna lean more into mental health with our own experiences later on. But right now, it's time for us to really move forward and enjoy this trip we got coming up, because we were in New Orleans for a purpose. This is the first leg of this trip to celebrate. We're actually ending my sister's 50th birthday as we move on to the Tom Jordan morning cruise. I just want to say, New Orleans, you've been good to us. This has been a great experience for my sister. She's found her place, her new hangout spot.
Yes.
That's what the next episode is going to be about, is how we've enjoyed this location of New Orleans and moving forward. But don't forget, we're gonna PSA, don't forget that first book. I actually got the hard copy here for a change, so you're gonna see it posted there as well. But it's hard. Don't forget the first book, Latrell. Second will eventually come. It'll eventually come with issues and trauma, but I'm gonna do it. And then if you ever see us out and we have our merchandise on, you can always scan it at this QR code. Well, the book is here and you get the podcast here, but always remember to scan our QR codes. It'll get you to the podcast. So if you see us walking around anything like this, scan. That's all the QR code is, not a scam or anything, just to get you to our podcast. So definitely scan it from our merchandise that we're wearing, especially on the cruise as well. All of it has a QR code on it, and we look forward to continue to build our community. We're gonna have some ups, we're gonna have some downs, but we're gonna enjoy every hurdle together.
Okay, we as sisters and brothers as well, because we don't want to count you guys out as well. We gonna go through this together. So we would like for you to like and to share some of your experience. Give us a comment. Share some of your experience and what you're going through currently, or what you have gone through with with your kids, and and maybe some good advice you can give us.
Right.
On how we need to navigate with our kids at this current time in their young adult lives.
Exactly.
We would love to hear from you.
All right. And with that, we're out.